Mike, you had home runs there. Well, have we got home runs here? 8,344. The total homers hit by some of the greats of the game you're about to see.
Baseball phenom, the Bird, who likes to straighten out the mound and have it his way. The Bird. Gotta be the hottest thing in baseball since bat day.
Well, we've got one of the thrilling moments in World Series history right here. Gibson has tied Kopech's strikeout record of 15. He's going for one more to break the record. He takes his set position. He delivers. Here's a pitch. Swing it out! He did it! 3-1 pitch to Grant. Drilled.
Line stopped at Cook Robinson dived and grabbed it in. Glove for the third out to retire the side. What a play. Wow.
Baseball, unlike any other sport, thrives, is nourished by its history. Some of the greatest players in the history of baseball are on the field for the Upper Deck Classic that you're about to be part of.
There's going to be a little competition out there. And you could wind up being a laughingstock by swinging and missing 3 times. And I'm capable of doing it.
Well, I'm going to be thinking about trying to hit that building. I heard ain't nobody hit it yet. I'd definitely like to be the first to do so.
Like, you know, I might hit the warehouse. No one's ever done that before.
Let's play 2 today.
And welcome back to a sun-drenched Orioles Park at Camden Yards, the Upper Deck Classic, the Heroes of Baseball game, 1993. Hello, everybody. Gary Thorne and Dave Campbell, and we are delighted to have you with us as part of our coverage here in Baltimore of this All-Star Festival. David has always said this is one of his favorite games to broadcast. How come?
I think for so many reasons, Gary, but, you know, baseball is a one sport, American sport, that transcends generations. And with the exception of the DH, there's been no major rule changes in the last 100 years. So fans can compare bygone eras. I mean, you don't need last names in this game. Just say the Babe, the Iron Horse, the Big Train, the Next Generation, the Splinter, Joltin' Joe, the Mick, say hey. And today, you got Junior, and you got Barry, and Cecil, and Cal, and Kirby. It's the one game where the fans can reflect, opinionate, and that really represents fan participation, which is the element of the game anyway.
Dave Buck Martinez is joining us here in Baltimore today. He's going to have a great time down on the field. He'll have a chance to talk with some of those heroes of baseball.
Thanks, Gary. Reggie, you hit a home run last year in this Classic, and you've hit a lot of home runs. They mean a lot to you. What did it mean to you last year at that Grand Slam?
You know, Buck, it really was a thrill for me. You know, I think that I was so nervous about swinging, missing, or striking out. Everybody wants to see Reggie strike out. Their teammate, the players do. But I was really thrilled, and it's something I'll always remember.
I know you're a big hero, a big fan of baseball. What about hitting it off of Gibson?
Hey, Bobby Gibson, we were talking before the ball game and then during the game. You know, he has a reputation of knocking guys down and really being tough, but really the theme is for the guys to let the guys hit the ball and put on a good show, and he laid the ball in there for me. And then when I went around the base, I said, hey, big guy, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean it, but, you know, you threw it right there.
All right, Reggie, thanks a lot. Good luck today.
Thanks, Buck.
Thank you very much. There are a couple of Orioles who are back home. Jim Palmer is going to be pitching. Earl Weaver, his manager then, is going to be his manager here. And you're going to meet some Hall of Famers. ESPN's presentation of the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball Classic is brought to you by Mobile Link Cellular Service. It's simply the way to communicate. And by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when.
Mobile Link Cellular Service presents All-Star Recall. 18 players in the 1971 All-Star game at Detroit's Tiger Stadium went on to become Hall of Famers. In this historic game, can you name the slugger who hit a home run off a light tower?
Flash Gordon calling emergency.
We've always been fascinated by the way our heroes communicate.
Jackson's home run in the 1971 All-Star Game struck a light tower on the roof. A ballistic blast.
And the man who's going to be introducing them is going into the Hall of Fame this season as well. He's been with the Baltimore organization as a broadcaster for 45 years, Chuck Thompson.
This man is Mr. Cub, and he'd like to play 2 today. His 512 home runs tie him for 12th best in history. Welcome, please, the incomparable Ernie Banks. This next star stole 118 bases in 1974. Still a National League record. A lifetime 293 hitter who played 19 years. Welcome, Lou Brock. What a pitcher was this next gentleman. He pitched 17 years, won 251 games, struck out over 3,000 batters, and completed 255 games in 482 starts, a 7-time All-Star, winner of 9 Gold Gloves. Welcome the outstanding Bob Gibson. Another outstanding hurler who won 20 or more games 6 straight years with the Chicago Cubs. He won 24 games and the Cy Young Award in 1971 during a 19-year career that included 284 wins. Welcome,
One of those things.
Fergie Jenkins. Picture this next gentleman's high leg kick, and you know right away who we mean. The ace of the San Francisco Giants and a 10-time All-Star. Welcome, Juan Marichal. Our next Hall of Famer won 314 games in a 22-year career. Only 4 pitchers in the history of baseball threw more innings than did this hurler. Welcome, Gaylord Perry. The next hurler is a former Oriole, but he gained his fame with the Phillies, for whom he won 20 more games every year from 1950 through 1955. Welcome, 7-time All-Star, Robin Roberts. The 10th-time All-Star played 19 years and hit exactly 300 lifetimes. His famous mad dash from first to score the winning run in the 1946 World Series is a classic moment in baseball's history. Welcome, please, Enos Slaughter. Our last Hall of Famer for the National League was a teammate of our first one. He hit 426 home runs, made the All-Star team 6 times. Welcome, please, Billy Williams.
Everybody ran. Hey, look, if these guys hit a baseball, they couldn't hit no ball. They couldn't talk about hitting a baseball. They couldn't hit, huh?
Now, the members of the American League squad who have been elected to the Hall of Fame. And again, let's start with an Oriole. A 9-time Gold Glove winner, a 10-time All-Star. This wonderful shortstop helped lead the Orioles to their first World Championship in 1966. Welcome back from Venezuela, Little Luis Aparicio. Next, Welcome one of baseball's all-time great heroes. He played in 14 World Series. Think about that. 14 World Series. A 3-time most valuable player. A 15-time All-Star. Then he managed the Yankees and the Mets and put both in the World Series. Welcome, the one and only Yogi Berra. This 9-time All-Star was the hero of the Midsummer Classic in 1943, and his number 1 was retired by the Boston Red Sox. Welcome, Bobby Doerr. This 6-time 20-game winner led the league in strikeouts 7 times. His fans called him Rapid Robert. Welcome, Bob Feller.
Out there next to Yogi.
This memorable ace of the Oakland A's was a 7-time All-Star, and while with the Brewers was the American League's most valuable player and Cy Young winner in 1981. Welcome, Raleigh Fingers. This 14-time All-Star hit 563 home runs, the 6th best total in history. Now he is on the board of directors of the Upper Deck Company and an official with the Yankees. And we in Baltimore congratulate him for his well-deserved election to the Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Reggie Jackson. The next Hall of Famer is a Baltimorean, and all of us share the pride of his enormous success. From the sandlots of Southern High School, just an Al Kaline throw from here, this 16-time All-Star hit 399 home runs in 22 years with the Tigers. Welcome, Baltimore's own Al Kaline. Well, we who follow the Orioles saw this man club many a home run against us, and the other teams didn't fare any better. He hit 573 lifetime, 5th best in history. Welcome the slugger of the Minnesota Twins, who hit 40 or more home runs 8 times. Ladies and gentlemen, Harmon Killebrew. This next gentleman was simply the greatest pitcher in Orioles history. A World Series shutout at age 20, an 8-time 20-game winner, a 3-time Cy Young winner. We could talk about number 22's glorious career till the sun goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Palmer. Here now is a man who has starred as a player, a coach, a manager, and now a front office official. He led the Orioles to 4 pennants in his 6 years with the Orioles and hit 586 home runs, the 4th greatest total in baseball history. Ladies and gentlemen, number 20, Frank Robinson. And finally, the greatest third baseman in the history of baseball. His 23 years included 16 Gold Gloves, 18 All-Star games, MVP awards for the American League, the World Series, and the All-Star game. There is no one like Baltimore's number 5, Brooks Robinson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will introduce the 2 managers of this game. First, a longtime Orioles rival who ranks 20th on the all-time Major League list with 1,352 wins. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck Tanner. And now, the manager of the American League. The greatest manager in Orioles history, one of the greatest managers in baseball history. Welcome, number 4, Earl Weaver.
And as the Hall of Famers came out, those players seated are some of the great players from the Negro Leagues being recognized here in 1958. The Heroes game. They've got a big crowd on hand for it and could not have a finer day than this. The All-Stars you're going to get to see enormous names and numbers. The National League starting lineup today, Chuck Tanner will be the skipper. Here's the team he's going to put out. The Hall of Famer, Lou Brock, will make the start in left field. Billy Williams, one of the game's greatest hitters from the Chicago Cubs, will be in right. Nobody ever hit the ball harder than Dick Allen. He's the designated hitter in today's game. Steve Garvey from that great Dodger infield and another MVP will be batting cleanup at first. The Cobra, who can still play, he may put one way out of this yard. Dave Parker will be in center field. Darrell Evans, one of the real stars of this game as far as power is concerned, will be at third base. He was traded for a manager. We'll tell you about that. His name is Manny Sanguillen. He'll be doing the catching in today's game. Also part of a great infield in Los Angeles, Davy Lopes makes the start at second base. He has managed, played, and coached. Still in the game as a coach right now, Bobby Valentine will be the starting shortstop. And there are the skippers, Earl Weaver and Chuck Tanner, who are going to get out there and just have a good time and argue at home plate before the game even starts. Oriole fans are in for a real treat. The guys who are about to come out of the dugout for the American League Heroes starters are all Baltimore Orioles.
You know Earl wants to win this game. He's still smarting from Tanner beating him in the '79 World Series. This will be no nonsense for Earl today.
He has not changed an iota from the days when he was doing this for real. He was as animated.
Hey, Al! Let's go! Go get him! Go get him!
Animated last night at the supper that Upper Deck put on, and he's just as animated today.
Yeah, just take turns. I'm going over to third for the first. Yeah.
And obviously, we have some mics on some of the guys that you'll be watching today, which will make this even more interesting. And Buck will be downstairs to catch the smiles and the handshakes and the hugs of the players as this game goes along. We invite you to just sit back and enjoy this one, the Upper Deck Heroes All-Star Game. And Bob Feller is going to make the opening pitch of this game. Came into the major leagues at the age of 17.
Well, Bob Feller will throw one pitch only, and then we'll have an all-Oriole team as Palmer will replace him. Elrod Hendricks is doing the catching, the man who has spent more time in a Baltimore uniform than anybody in the history of the organization. The Booger. He is a legend here at first in Baltimore. At first base, Booth Powell. Second base is Bobby Gritch, 200-plus home runs in his career. Spent many years here in Baltimore. Doug DeCinces is going to play short. He took over for Brooks when Brooks Robinson retired, but Doug gets the call at short. And speaking of Brooks, what would an all-star game be in Baltimore without this man who played in 18 of them, Brooks Robinson? Al Bumbry, first Oriole to ever have 200 hits, will play left field. 8 gold gloves for the center fielder, Paul Blair. He used to play so shallow in center, they used to make him buy a box seat. And in right field, Reggie Jackson, newest inductee into the Hall of Fame. August 1st, ESPN will be covering that event. He is not wearing the Oriole uniform. I suspect if he would have, George would have thrown a tirade.
Or at least taken the job away from him. Well, he couldn't have had a nicer day for this Heroes Classic. And a great crowd on hand here at Camden Yards as Lou Brock will stand in to take the first pitch. And he's going to get his picture taken with Elrod Hendricks before he's able to get to the plate. These heroes, they've been passing the bats and the baseballs and the papers around and had the cameras, too. They love to get each other's autographs to take home, along with the fans who've been able to catch up with them. Feller's ready to go. He will throw out the ceremonial first pitch. Bob Feller still travels around the nation and around the world, in fact, doing this very thing, exhibit-wise. 17 years old when he broke into the major leagues, a career that was disrupted by his service to his country. Lou Brock, Feller's going to stay out, throw a couple. Brock's going to go to Powell. And the oogs are up here in Baltimore.
Tough to figure out if they're yelling boog or boo, but boy, boog, step on it. Feller's going, once again, I can't get any defensive support. Boog taking lessons from Dick Stewart, Dr. Strangeglove.
And there goes Bob Feller as Jim Palmer heads out. So Bob Feller went against one batter, Earl Weaver, to meet him, and there's Jim Palmer.
Yeah, Feller also told Earl, if that guy scores, it's an unearned run. Jim Palmer, 268 wins in his career, and he wows the fans here. He's thrown it up there about 82 miles an hour. Remember, he almost made a comeback a couple of years ago.
That's right. He will face Billy Williams with Lou Brock on at first base. Billy Williams of the Chicago Cubs, one of the all-time great hitters. His number, along with Ernie Banks, flies at one of the flagpoles at Wrigley Field. Ernie Banks also on hand as a coach here for the Upper Deck All-Star Game.
Palmer still throwing that high fastball for a strike. Gets the call from the home plate umpire, Bob Rosner.
Local umpires being used. That one driven pretty good. Blair. Oh, no. Blair got there. Reggie's going to have a word with him in the outfield, and Brock goes to second, Billy Williams to first.
Only the St. Louis Cardinals, since they started the Gold Glove, have gotten more Gold Gloves than the Orioles. But Paul Blair drops one. Boog Powell drops one. Hey, guys, let the goat's head out of those gloves. Start grabbing them. I didn't see Paul Blair miss any in his formative days. Oh, hit him in a bad spot, right in the pocket.
Reggie Jackson said last night, I'm going to be playing right, Paul, and that means Blair's going to be in center, because I want someone who can get over and cover my territory as well as his. Allen. Souvenir back behind home plate. Dick Allen, a .292 career hitter. 7 times he batted over 300. Players still ooh and ah about this contact hitter.
Gary, he struck out 150 times one year and still hit .315, which means he hit about .460 when he put the ball in play.
Boy, is that typical? Look at that. Look where Blair had him played. Blair had moved way over into the gap. Even in the Heroes game, they've got scouting reports. And Dick Allen is retired. Blair was way over in the alley in left center field. Lou Brock on at second. Billy Williams on at first. Dick Allen in his Philadelphia uniform will head back.
Palmer just bowed out to Blair, and Paul returned in kind. And now Garvey, who looks like he could still play easily.
Steve Garvey, 1,207 consecutive games, a National League record. Bloops that one. The Sensays. Oh! The Baltimore crowd wanted that more than any. Bumbry sends it back in, and the sacks are loaded.
Well, that'll go as a base hit. Great effort by DeCinces. But no cigar, and the bases are loaded for Dave Parker. Earl's going, God, I went and got a bunch of guys who can catch the ball. What an effort by DeCinces, but not there, and the sacks are jammed. Remember, we had a grand slam homer a year ago in this game by Reggie Jackson, and don't think Bob Gibson hadn't forgotten that.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. And I'll tell you, talking about home runs, here's a guy who had certainly more than his share. Dave Cobra Parker getting the opportunity here for the Heroes against Jim Palmer. We saw earlier today Ken Griffey Jr. hit that warehouse outside the right field wall. Still nobody has done it during a regulation game. Guy at the plate right now wouldn't mind putting one out there. He gave it a ride. Reggie in right. Will they tag Lou Brock at third? Yeah.
Reggie, that's only 2 outs, Reggie. Reggie, you forgot, Reg. It takes 3 outs, Reggie. But he would have scored anyway. Yeah, 2 outs now, Reggie.
So the sacrifice fly and the RBI for Dave Parker. Lou Brock is home. Earl Weaver's upset, but he's got Jim Palmer on the mound.
The second, McGregor the third, and you got the rest, Raleigh. And we got to get you.
Decided who's going to pitch where. Here's Darrell Evans, the third baseman. 2 on. Davey at first, Billy Williams at third, 2 down. Jim Palmer missing down low. Jimmy's saying, I know your glove's there somewhere. And I just can't find it, Elrod. Is he throwing a sinker ball?
I think he's out of gas. He didn't have as many pancakes today as he usually does when he's going to start.
Darrell Evans waiting on him.
Elrod's got that goat head in his glove, too. They fill up those gloves with helium before the game today?
Yeah, the guys are really worried about the East Coast weather here in Baltimore with over 100-degree temperatures the last 2 days. But not bad here. Reggie, this will be for the third out. Warning track shot. Darrell Evans retired. Top 1-0 here in the Upper Decks Heroes Classic, downtown Baltimore, and Camden Yards fits in like it was designed to be here. The lineup for Earl Weaver's American League team, Al Bunbury, making the start in left field. These are all former Baltimore Orioles. At some point in their career, Paul Blair, the Gold Glove player, out in center. Gibson's going to get a chance for a little revenge in this game. Reggie Jackson starting in right field. Boog Powell, you saw at first base. He's still got the concession outside center that he runs now, selling the barbecue. The greatest third baseman ever. Brooks Robinson at third base. Great ovation when he was introduced. We'll have the designated hitter by the name of Ken Griffey. 19 seasons at the major league level. Former Baltimore great second baseman Bobby Grich making the start there in this game. Earl Weaver said last night the man they shouldn't have traded is at shortstop. Doug DeCinces back for this Heroes game, and Elrod Hendricks, still coaching in Baltimore, is doing the catching.
And pitching for the National League, the Hall of Famer Bob Gibson, inducted 1987, 251 victories. Manny Sanguillen will do the catching. He had a rocking chair up there, a stool to rest while he was warming up. Steve Garvey, some Gold Gloves at first base. Davey Lopes also won a Gold Glove when he played with the Dodgers. Bobby Valentine is the shortstop. Spent time with the Dodgers, Angels, Padres, and Mets. And at third is Darrell Evans. No Gold Gloves for Darrell, but he could pole. Hall of Famer Lou Brock in left. Dave Parker, who had the great throwing arm, is moved to center, normally a right fielder by trade. And the right fielder trying to find some shade out there is Billy Williams. Now, Billy, there's no shade, no hiding today.
What a sight here at Camden Yards. Bob Gibson making the start here for the Heroes will be facing Al Bunbury. Bunbury was the American League Rookie of the Year in 1973, a speedster. Played here for the Baltimore Orioles from 72 to 1984 in the organization. Down to first, Steve Guidage. Showing he can still get down. Bunbury's retired.
Bob Culler's going to be mad if this lead holds up. He get hooked with a loss through a ground ball, and Boog kicked it, and that run scored.
Faced one batter, and that's the one who scored. This feller still in the dugout you saw walking out of the screen there. Paul Blair.
Should have known that Palmer wasn't going to throw a grand slam last inning. He went through his entire career without giving one up.
That's why it would fit right in this game, wouldn't it? Paul Blair, outstanding defensive ball player. 6 World Series, 4 World Championships, a couple with the Orioles. Gibson, who won some Gold Gloves on the mound. It's Blair.
Bob had 9 of them. Great fielding pitcher. Now's my moment. Remember, Reggie hit a grand slam against Gibby last year. I'm waiting to see what happens.
You take a look at Reggie's uniform. Of course, he's working for the Yankees. They're being recognized more of the ball player. And Gibson went after him and took him down.
Gibby, do it again just so he'll know you meant it.
You think Reggie wants one out into that warehouse right now? Reggie was putting a few out in batting practice today here. The thing about these two guys, they're smiling and laughing at one another. But let me tell you something. It's that close. That close. The competitive juices in these two players still flows mightily.
I didn't see any smiles.
No.
Call this a strike no matter where it is. All right? Okay. Call this a strike no matter where it is.
This is a man that struck out 2,600 times, and he's begging for strikes.
He's going to the mound. Oh, the other way. They had the big shift on, and Reggie took it the other way and hard. Brock gets it back in, and Reggie gets one off Gibson.
You got his number now, Reg.
I think I'll play behind. All right.
Not Booze, Boog. Boog Powell at first base. Sanguillen skips by. Reggie will go to second.
Looks like Gibby tried to knock our cameraman down standing next to home plate there.
A little scary out there. We got cameraman working on the field about 4 feet away from the batter. Foul tip off the end of that bat could cost our cameraman dearly. There's the shot from right outside the batter's box on the other side. To third. Evans, Darrell, and Gibby has a very successful inning. Gibson gives up just the one hit, the single by Jackson, who's stranded. And we've completed one here in our Upper Deck Heroes Classic with the National League on top 1-0. And as we said, down at dugout levels, Buck Martinez.
Did you expect Gibby to do that?
Well, if you know Bob Gibson, you better be ready.
Well, yeah, he got you to go to the other way, though. Kept you in the ballpark, huh?
I'll take it.
That's a good start, Red.
Got to be nice to Mr. Gibson.
You bet. Nice going.
I learned to hit with the broomstick and bobcat. That cap would spin and curve, and that made me a good hitter. What I enjoyed most was putting the uniform on every day, just playing baseball. One of the greatest.
He's still one of the magic names in all of baseball. Maybe nobody ever got as much out of 1 year of professional baseball as that man, Mark the Bird Goodrich.
19 wins, led the American League in ERA, and yeah, Mark does talk to the baseball.
Just put in front of your face. Follow through. That's all. Just follow through. You go righty. Come on.
Go!
Manny Sanguillen, who used to talk to the ball when he pitched for that great rookie season and a number of comeback seasons.
I wish a player would make a great play behind him. You'd see him going all the way out to congratulate him.
You ready?
Gotta love it. He brought something real special to the game. Manny Sanguillen. First ball hitting. Sanguillen's got himself a base hit.
Something new and different, swinging at a bad pitch out of the strike zone for Manny Sanguillen. They throw it, I hit it.
Chuck Tanner, his manager, said last night he left him in one game in a playoff situation against the pitcher because the pitcher never threw strikes. And Tanner said, I left Sanguillen in because he never hit strikes. There's Tanner. He was traded for Sanguillen. He was a manager then. Oh, what a shot put out by Davy Lopes. Al Bumbry will get it back in.
Well, Fidrich went right-hander.
Okay, now
he's going to have to look to another right-hander as the baby bull comes up.
Bobby Valentine was going to hit, but Orlando Cepeda says, look at the back of my jersey here. It's me. So there's the announcement to be made as the baby bull will come up. Bobby Valentine will pass up his time at bat. I recognize in these games, Bobby may be back to hit later. This game, the lineups tend to change.
Yeah, I said at the opening there were no significant rule changes in the last 100 years, except for the Upper Deck Heroes game.
Here's Bobby. He's going to sit and watch here for a minute. And the baby bull will take the strike. Orlando Cepeda will take his turn at bat. Bobby will run for him if he gets on. Fidrich knocking his way through it. 2 on here. Still got a pretty good cut.
Come on now, you got 2 strikes on him. Don't give up. Don't give in. The guy. 2. You got 2 on him now. You got to get this guy. This is the guy. Get 1 out here. The guy.
2 on for Cepeda.
That's it. Get 2.
Brooks.
Get 2. You got
Rich, can they get 2? Yes!
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Brooks
what I'm
to Rich. To Boog.
Well, Fidrich was around enough to know if he could get a ground ball to Brooks, and with Orlando having the bad knees, he'd get the double play. Earl says that's more like it. That's the defense I know.
Let's go. That's it. Come on now.
You don't know how to do that now.
That's the name you want.
Bob Gibson is going to hit for Lou Brock in the leadoff spot. Gibby wants a whack at Fidrich with a runner at third. Right off the fist. Bunbury deep in the corner. Look at this. Gibson, 333 away, swinging at the pitch.
Last pitcher to hit 300 in the major leagues, 1970.
Games to 1 lead. Home to finish it out, but the Pirates came to life. Willie Stargell, 6th inning, 2-run homer. That provided the go-ahead margin. And in the 9th, high drama. It would be Kent to Colby. Pat Kelly looking for the final out. The fly ball to center field, put it away. We are family. That was the Pittsburgh battle cry, a successful one. And now they're facing each other again here in Baltimore. Chuck Tanner was the manager on one side and Earl Weaver on the other.
Don't forget to announce Frank and Bobby Dorr, okay?
Bobby Dorr.
Earl making sure his people get looked at. As you take a look at the high leg kick, who else?
Juan Marichal, his influence still felt in the game in many ways, but Dennis Eckersley of the Oakland A's says he patterned the high leg kick after his hero, Juan Marichal.
Greatest third baseman ever. Not a lot of people arguing about the man Marichal will face, who has been given that label, and appropriately so. Brooks Robinson stands in for the home crowd here in Baltimore. You just do not forget the World Series performances of Brooks Robinson. Bobby Valentine is back at shortstop, but Parker and Norv Valentine's going to get that one, and Brooks is on.
That Bermuda Triangle's a little bigger in these Heroes games than it is during the normal season.
When the temperature's in the 90s, you don't do a lot of running, even if you are in good shape like Bobby Valentine. Let that one just fall in. Griffey Sr. is the designated hitter with the Seattle Mariners uniform on. 3-time All-Star. 296 lifetime average, 19 years in the major leagues.
And son Ken Griffey Jr. made him a proud papa last year. Became the first father-son team to ever be the MVPs in All-Star games. Barry Bonds has got a chance to do it. His dad was the MVP in 1973, so we'll look for that tomorrow.
I really think there's a chance for a Triple Crown winner this season.
I do too. Bonds is third in hitting, and only Galarraga and Orlando Merced ahead. Barry leading in home runs and RBIs at the All-Star break.
Ken Griffey to short. Bobby Valentine. Lopes. Look at these turn 2, will you? Over to Darby. 2 double plays in this game. Buck Martinez.
By a run now. You need that old famous 3-run homer, huh? Who you got up there now?
Well, first of all, we got to get 2 guys on, Buck. But here's Critch and DeSensei. They're pretty young people, you know, for playing in a game like this. So we still got a chance. If not this inning, when we get to the top of the order again, we're going to be all right.
All right, Earl. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Buck.
And Earl hadn't had a cigarette yet. So Dan Stanhouse must not be around.
It will be shortly then. Bobby Grich tags it. Parker, center. Ooh, he went to a little snatch catch there, I thought, for a minute, but he wasn't quite sure he could hang on to it. The National League Heroes leading the American League Heroes 1-0 after 2. On to play in left field. Bumbury's gone from left to center for Paul Blair. And Scotty McGregor, yet another Oriole on the mound.
Scotty McGregor is the guy that made George Brett the second-best player on his high school team.
Lou Brock back in the ball game. Bunbury hauls it in. It's 4-10 out there to center field. That was a pretty good shot by Brock.
Wait a minute. Gibson hitting Brock's spot. Now, how do we mark this on our scorecard?
Brock. Don't even try.
Anyway, George Brett said he was the second-best player on his El Segundo high school team because Scotty McGregor was best. The Bird getting a little fan from the Bird. There we go.
He never stops smiling. One down, nobody on. And Billy Williams taking his turn here against Scotty McGregor right off the end of the bat. Brooks Robinson, who saved the baseball but not the arrow.
Brooks will be up here in about 5 minutes asking if we can erase this. Brooks tried to hurry it a little bit too much. Should have known Brooks. Billy Williams was running.
We'll get our first look at Al Oliver, who's going to come on for Dick Allen. A 1-0 National League lead. Winning their run in the first inning here. The Heroes game, and Oliver, the left-hander, fouls it off.
One thing about Ollie, you know he's going to hit a rope somewhere. I think he hit ropes when he was 7 years old and never stopped. Over 2,700 hits in the career.
McGregor misses down low with it. 1 run, 4 hits for the National League Heroes. No runs, a couple of hits, and 2 errors thus far for the American League Heroes. The Senseis, can he do it again? Nope, not going to get to this one. And that'll hold the runners up at first and second base.
You know, when Doug's running out there, he's going, his mind is saying, I'm going to get to this ball easily. But the legs don't quite get there.
That's what happens in this game, doesn't it? The mind kind of follows along with the body. Steve Garvey. That is at first and second base. Nobody, 1 out here. With McGregor following up for Bob Feller, who worked to 1 batter. Palmer, an inning. Fidrich, an inning. And McGregor here.
Garv taking a shot at the warehouse and right. A little short.
A great Dodger infielder. Garvey anchored over at first base. Played together longer than any other in the history of Major League Baseball.
Say Russell Lopes and Garvey, 8 years. Longest ever.
Teams, too. McGregor, the third. Brooks, look at this. Oh, yeah. Memories are made. One more time. Brooks Robinson.
Man won the most Gold Gloves ever with 16. Brooks Robinson.
Buck. All right, Brooksy, you booted one, but you made up for it big time.
Yeah, I can catch it, but I have a hard time throwing it now, Buck. If it's right at me, I might have been trying to get out of the way of that one. You know that.
Oh, it's a great day here,
Thanks,
Brooksy.
I appreciate it.
And we'll be back with more right after this. Paid for. And we'll listen in to him for part of this inning. We've put a mic on him.
Hey, Dave, I really want to be fishing in out here.
He said he was going to say something to me.
And Doug DeSenses, the Baltimore Orioles, wants the ball looked at.
That's a surprise. What's Fergie doing now? What do you got in there, Gaylord? File, Vaseline?
Drink for you. How's the fishing been?
It's kind of been hot, Fergie. How about you? No, I ain't taking my hat off out here.
I'll get a sunstroke out here.
You know, Gaylord's agent approached the Vaseline company one time, and they said, how about a contract? And they said, we soothe babies' bottoms, not baseballs. So Gaylord lost an opportunity there.
He never met a wet ball he didn't like.
314 wins for this man.
Hall of Fame in 1991 for Gaylord Perry. Doug DeCences fouls it back. DeCences is a real favorite here in Baltimore. Played from 73 to 81 with the Orioles. He took over at third base for Brooks Robinson and can still hit. Base hit center field, Dave Parker. So DeCences is on with a leadoff single here in the third. We told you guys love to collect autographs. Les Joe Carter, the current All-Star, and Bob Feller, his autograph he is securing. This game does live on its great history and its legends. Rod Hendricks fouls it off. Bert Campaneris has come out as the pinch runner at first base for Doug DeCences.
See the numbers on Campy. Elrod, we told you, has worn the Oriole uniform longer than anybody else since they moved here in 1954.
Baltimore Orioles coach talking to Gaylord Perry. Great part of this Heroes part of All-Star Week has been the Negro League players who have been recognized, and they too had autographs being collected before this game.
What was that pitch? Bottom fell out of it.
Seen that before. I think he was laughing because it still works. Gets by Darrell Porter, who's come in to do the catching for Manny Sanguillen.
Doesn't count as a pass ball when Gaylord throws it because it jumps all over the place. Too difficult to handle.
Runner on at second base. Bert Campaneris now. The National League Heroes leading it here 1-0. I'm not sure who enjoys Hero games more. Those of us who are real fans and get such a treat out of seeing these players again, or the players themselves each year. It never ceases to amaze me. The time that these players have with one another and how much they enjoy it. Last night at the dinner they had, a lot of them stayed around after, just sitting around, telling stories. Yogi and Brooks. Tom Selleck was on hand. Elrod, good shot to right. Here comes Campaneris. He's still flying. He can still run.
Hat flew off. Campy said they put me in to pinch run. That's my job. Campy got one of the great compliments I think I've ever heard about in baseball. When he got ready to retire, umpire Bill Haller walked over to him and shook his hand and said, "You have been a true professional. Never griped, never complained, just showed up every day and did his job."
That's his exercise for the day right there. Bert Campaneris. And this is a tie game now. The American League has picked up 4 hits for their heroes. El Bunbury. He grounded out his first time up against Gaylord Perry. With a runner on at first here. And nobody out. Packed a lot of folks in here for this one. Hard foul ball down the line and left. A lot of white shirts on hand on a 90-plus degree day, but not as uncomfortable as it has been over the past 2 or 3 days all along the East Coast. Al Bunbury, 54 career home runs, gets a base hit to right. Hendricks will move down to second base. And they're going to try and take the extra on Billy Williams. And they do. They'll credit Bunbury with a couple. This year's most valuable blimp, the MVB, the Bud 1 airship, bringing you the pictures from overhead, 1,000 feet above Camden Yards. Mike Hance, Tony Stevenson working as the pilots, George Shanasma working on the camera. And what a day for them to be flying overhead. This will be the first at-bat for Joe Rudy. Couple on here against Gaylord Perry. 1-1. Tag to left field. Brought back. Rudy. Goodbye. 3-run homer. Well, I tell you, that was an honest home run right there.
Well, Gary, now that Rudy's gone deep, I wonder if Gaylord will decide Reggie should bite the dust for the second time today.
And there he goes.
I want to get you.
All right, fellas.
Joe Rudy sends Gaylord Perry to the back of the bench.
Cuban forkball he hit.
So Gaylord's going to come out. Reggie's waiting to stand in again here, and it's going to be Ferguson Jenkins coming to the mound.
Fergie, Hall of Famer, 71 Cy Young Award winner, won 25 with Texas, had those great years with the Chicago Cubs. You notice Gaylord knocked down Reggie in the on-deck circle before he even walked up to the plate.
In the on-deck circle.
I'm going to look at one.
Sure. Yeah. Especially if it's fat. I'm going to look at one over the warehouse.
Cy Young Award winner in 1971, Ferguson Jenkins, 24-13 of that season. The Hall of Famer ready to work. To the Hall of Famer who's going in this season, Reggie Jackson. Alone. The players, Chuck Thompson in the broadcast wing of the Hall of Fame.
Every time you see Reggie at an All-Star week, you think back of that prodigious home run he hit in Detroit in 1971. Oh, Doc Ellis, what a blast.
He was going for one right there. Evans going back will haul that one in. And that'll take care of Reggie here. And with the bases empty, it's going to be the first out of the inning.